I've been watching the Angry Video Game Nerd since like 2009 or something like that. I was a kid. I was a child. I probably shouldn't have been watching it because of the language in it. But you know what? I liked video games, and I was of the age where I was playing a lot of video games. How old was I in 2009? 14? I was 14 in 2009. That's when I started collecting old games. Like, games before my time, like Super Nintendo games. And Nintendo 64. And he's playing the Gex Trilogy in his latest video. Man, Angry Video Game Nerd videos have changed so much since back in the day when I was watching them. I like how he still uses his old theme song, but he turned it into a Super Nintendo song. I do like the old song whenever it comes up, whenever the old videos come up again. A lot of times they just start playing at night, and that's what I fall asleep to.
We're well into the new year, and it's been a cold winter. And it'll be cold for a while, thanks to the groundhog. But the winter is the perfect time to just cozy up and watch some good movies. And with ExpressVPN at your side, your choices are never ending. ExpressVPN is the ultimate skeleton key for anyone trying to unlock their streaming service's true potential.
I like how he's not trying to push this whole like, oh, you gotta be secure, it's like an internet condom. And he's just like, you can watch cool stuff.
Searching for a movie or series but can't find it anywhere? Apps like Netflix and Hulu hide content from you based on your geolocation. But with ExpressVPN, you can change your location to somewhere like Australia, and within seconds, the movies you've been looking for will appear. And with over a
I don't know how that this is actually still legal. I mean, I like it being legal, but I don't know how this hasn't been lobbied against to get VPNs shut down.
100 countries to choose from worldwide, you can find vampire movies hidden all over the place, like The Last Voyage of the Demeter, only streaming in France, and Abigail, only showing in the UK.
Hey, I remember Abigail.
With ExpressVPN, the options to watch what I want, when I want, are limitless. Find out how you can get yourself 4 months of ExpressVPN for free by scanning the QR code on screen or by going to the link in the description below, expressvpn.com/cinemassacre.
Does ExpressVPN actually do anything better than Proton VPN? Because I use Proton VPN and it's pretty good.
Back in the day, it was all about Nintendo and Sega. Nintendo had Mario,
True.
Sega had Sonic. These were the two big mascots of the video game arena. Nobody else could even come close. It was a two-party system until the character Gex came along representing.
Bro, that era of games, the commercials were spectacular. I still go back and watch the commercials, even though I wasn't alive when all of this was happening.
The 3DO. Now, Gex was exclusive to the 3DO, just barely long enough for a sloppy crap that dropped from a sloth's anus, because later that same year of '95, it was ported to the Saturn and PS1. So now both Sega and Sony had the Gecko on their side. 2 sequels followed, which were on both the N64 and PS1, and until 2000, Gex was the mascot for the developer
Crystal Dynamics. That rings a hard bell. I know I've seen them in avgn videos before. What games does Crystal Dynamics make?
Dynamics, who are also known for Legacy of Kain and
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Okay,
Now
yeah, Tomb Raider is what I knew. I didn't know Legacy of Kain. I didn't play that one. I still haven't played it, and I really want to play it. I have them. I have the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver games.
Spit out all that history, let's talk about the character. What exactly is Gex? Well,
It looks
he's
cool.
a wisecracking, TV-watching secret agent Gecko, who's voiced by stand-up comic actor and writer Dana Gold.
I played Gex 1. I don't remember anything about it except the character, like the way he looked.
At least in the North American versions, who also wrote for The Simpsons from 2001 till 2007.
That's cool.
So basically, Gex is just another green smartass like Michelangelo or Mondo Gecko. Yeah, remember Mondo Gecko? Or maybe it's more like the Geico Gecko.
I do remember Mondo Gecko. I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, the entire series, 10 seasons. And it's incredible. I love it.
A talking gecko? Why?
I'll tell you why. Because people trust advertising icons.
Whoa.
Gex, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on shitty games.
Is he going back to that old style where he's incorporating like green screen and stuff? I hope so. I like that.
So the game begins with a weird cutscene.
I had just finished my usual morning routine of nude funkercise.
Nude funkercise? Can somebody explain that to me? Or no? How about not?
Yeah,
So
let's
the main
not.
hub
Let's
is the media
gloss over that.
dimension, which is home to a bunch of TV.
Whoa, yeah, this is cool actually. It looks really cool, but apparently, is it bad? We'll find out.
Channels that Gex has to travel through as he fights his way across a bunch of side-scrolling stages, each with a different TV theme, and ultimately has to go head-to-head with the main villain, Rez.
Did Teen Titans rip this off? There's an episode of Teen Titans where they do this, where they go into the TV and like they go into different themed episodes.
All along, Gex keeps saying annoying one-liners.
It's tail time.
Just a bunch of random quotes, either throwaway jokes or references to movies or shows.
You moved the headstones, but you didn't move the body.
This doesn't look
Rarely
bad.
well-timed and often just come out of nowhere.
Number one, raise sheep.
A lot of times that's funny when you know that they're bad, and then it keeps happening, and then every once in a while they'll drop one. That'll just really get you.
George of jungle.
Sorry, Mr. Presley. Looks like bugs after the trucks. Hey, where's Jane's Honda? This is the worst health club I have ever been to. Hey, where's Jane's Honda?
Jeez, Gex
I probably get a lot of these jokes.
is annoying. I guess it could be argued that Mario is just as annoying sometimes,
Hey, where's Jane's Honda?
but maybe we've gotten used to Mario. We put up with his shit.
I actually think Mario is very annoying in the Mario Kart series. And a lot of the old ones. But I really like the Mario games. I like Mario in most of them. It's just every once in a while in games he's really annoying for some reason.
But this is like if I just blurt out unnecessary quotes any chance I get.
I do that.
I'm king of the world! Here's Johnny. There's no crying in baseball.
Sometimes not only is it
I like that though. Hold up. He might be wrong about this. I think he might be nitpicking because I like that. Angry video game nerd, you suck. James Rolfe's cool. I'm just kidding. No, James Rolfe is cool though.
random, but it makes no sense.
This place is weirder than 4th of July at Rick James' place.
Ah,
Huh. Rick James,
bitch.
4th of July. I don't get it.
So I've played the 3DO,
Because there's gonna be a cookout and they're probably gonna do a lot of drugs. I don't know.
Saturn, and PlayStation versions, and they all seem identical. The first stage is horror themed, clearly, where you fight Franken lizards and leather Jason face. Yeah.
The gameplay and the aesthetics and the character, I love everything about this. I might give it a shot. Might play it on my gaming channel, which is linked down there in the comments.
Leather Jason face. That's fun to say. Try it. Yeah. Wait a minute.
There's 3 of these?
Pull down while jumping? Can you pull down the D-pad? The only thing I can think of which means pull down is when you pull down your pants. The biggest question is which one of these games is the easiest to save, and I still don't know the answer. In the 3DO version, I died and gave up on the cemetery stage before I ever found a spot to save. But you can save on the memory card. The PS1 version you'd think would be simple, just save to the memory card, right? But no, it has a password, and they're really hard to read. Is that a D or an R? Maybe it's better on
In the days of smartphones, the password system's not that bad, actually, because then you could just and take a picture.
a CRT TV. But man, it sucks having to re-enter the code
Oh,
every
yeah.
time you lose all your lives. If you keep dying, like I did, you'll eventually find yourself entering the passwords on pure muscle memory, like you're punching in the
So you're telling me I need to play it on an emu?
Contra code. Except you only restart with 3 lives, so you bet your ass you'll be seeing the password screen a lot. Somehow it gets worse because you only get passwords after beating certain stages, like bosses for example. Each stage has hidden VCR tapes that also give you passwords to quote unquote save your progress. But if you lose all your lives and haven't gotten a password in a while, you gotta redo a bunch.
This game seems so dated that they're definitely not going to do a remake of these games. And if they do, they're going to modernize them and they'll be terrible. So let's not do that.
Bunch of shit in the hopes that you'll get further than you did last time. Even the best levels in the world get old when you're forced to replay them on repeat. Otherwise, how is the game? Has it committed any real offenses yet? Well, look, the graphics are nice for a 2D side-scroller. Very reminiscent of Donkey Kong Country from the year before, but maybe not what you would hope for a next-gen console on the brand new CD
That looks like Rocco's Modern Life right here.
format. But hey, it's very colorful. The stages offer a lot of nice variety and cool things to look at.
Whoa.
There's a cemetery, a cartoon land, jungle island, a kung fu themed stage.
Back in the day, this game would have blown my mind. It probably did, but I was a really, really little kid when I played it. Because I vaguely remember the character.
And the final Resopolis that's filled with acid pools, tubes, and moving platforms. The control is functional and unremarkable at the same time. It plays like a game. There's nothing weird going on. Yet.
That's cool.
Looks like Beetlejuice threw up.
Oh my gosh, the boss is chugging God knows what and then farting all over the place.
This game is like an amalgamation of all the 90s stuff.
He's farting! Now come on, that's just toilet humor. Now let's get on with
That's
this
90s humor.
diarrhea bullshit.
Ha,
One
you
big thing
diarrhea
with Gex
bullshit.
is that he can stick to the ceiling and climb on walls, just like a real-life gecko. It's probably one of the more unique elements of the gameplay. Gex can even climb on some background walls, which actually looks pretty cool. But sometimes I don't know which walls I can climb on because the background texture is blending into everything. God damn it. Other times, it looks like I can climb, but the game just won't let me. There's collectibles right there. Now that kind of shit really grinds my gears, but what really gets me going are the bullshit deaths. Well, that's gotta leave a mark. Another one bites the dust. Drop the ball there. Crash and burn. Game over, man. That's what Gex might say, but I'll just go with a simple, good old-fashioned fuck. Oh my god, it's Gamera. And I'm not joking. It is Gamera. He's got the rocket
Gamora is how I say that.
jets and even does the spin. The real character's name is Toxic Turtle, but it's Gamera. Gamera! Gamera! Gamera!
Now listen to me, Grasshopper.
Oh fuck, the game froze. You gotta be kidding me. That's just wonderful. That would have been a perfect time to shut the fucker off. And it froze more than once. But the game isn't too bad. In fact, I'd say it's a pretty decent side-scroller, except the stages stretch on way too long. Like this level
It seems like a 7 out of 10 kind of game to me.
from the cartoon world. It has a million doors you've got to go in and out of to get to the next part. The level just goes on and on for so long that everything starts blending together, so I forget which doors I've gone into already, and I start going in circles. The same could be said for a few stages like the rocket ship level and the final kung fu stage. They just never seem to end. Come on. One thing that could have helped would have been the ability to move the camera around so you can see what's below you to avoid stupid deaths like this. Some platformers have this feature, like the Flintstones movie game on Super Nintendo, and well, this game really needed that since most of my deaths were from falling into bottomless pits and acid pools right below what I can see on screen. But probably the worst part is still the passwords, not just having to enter them, but trying to make it to the next password. Nobody likes having to redo the
That is a system that I am glad we do not use anymore. That password system is stinky poo-poo.
same shit over and over. Also, the one-liners are really out of hand. By the end of this, I must have heard Gex say Wilma 100 times.
Wilma!
Yeah, speaking of Flintstones. But hey, at least you can turn the voice lines off. And believe me, I looked. But you know what? Actually, the most annoying thing of all is the final boss, Rez.
Hey, it's Darth Vader's younger brother, Myron.
You have to keep jumping across TVs, grab the power up to damage him, keep hanging on the wall, keep dodging shit, and every once in a while, you get the chance to hit him. It's a marathon, but afterwards, you get a funny ending. You're the greatest. I think you deserve a medal. You kick butt. I think you are the epitome of all things great. You are the best gamer in the history of the state. No, more like the country. Actually, the best in the history of Earth.
What is this Rugrats ass theme song that's going on? Is that part of the game actually? The Rugrats has kind of a lot of the aesthetic, I think, from this. I think 90s share a lot of stuff. It's just got that 90s vibe. I like it. I like it a lot.
This goes on for over 7 minutes. I would make a joke, but it already is a joke.
And we have 2 more games to go. So up next is Gex 2, Enter the Gecko. This is the first 3D Gex game. It tried to copy Super Mario 64, as it seemed every game at the time did. And as I mentioned before, it was released on both N64 and PS1, even Windows and Game Boy.
Bro, I remembered that. Hold up. I think I did play Gex 2.
Color if you really want to dig in. It's enough to make your head spin. So between the 2 consoles, I'd say in the PS1 version, the graphics are a little more crisp. You can read signs easier, the collectibles are cleaner, and the lighting looks way better. It also has an opening cutscene, which doesn't happen on the N64, probably because it's on a cartridge.
I remember this stuff, man. I don't remember what I played it on.
One-liners don't seem to repeat as much either.
All right, boys. Phases on stun.
But that's only because they had to cut a crap load of them and some music to fit the whole game on the 64 card. Oh, and the save system on PS1 is better. So
I remember the floating islands areas. That's the parts that I remember the most. I can't believe that was this game. I had this in my mind from when I was a kid, and like I never knew what it was. And I'm seeing it right now, and that's awesome. I might have to play this.
with all that said, let's play Gex 64. First annoying factor is the confusing navigation. The stages are designed.
I think Gex 64 is the one that I played. I don't think I played the PlayStation version, and it would have been one of those 2 versions.
Like Mario 64, where each one has multiple objectives, and you can only accomplish one thing per playthrough. I mean, it is Gex 64, so what else were you expecting? In Mario 64, you're collecting stars. In Gex, it's TV remotes, but it's the same idea. The problem is that it's less clear where you're supposed to go, so you just run around aimlessly until you accidentally complete an objective or find a remote. The camera is the biggest problem of all. It just swivels all over the place. Hey, I can't see! Oh, fuck, did you see that? I was in the middle of a jump and it moved. The camera is not your friend. It's like, hey, I need some help here. Oh, fuck you, see ya. But you can change it to manual. Now you have more control. That makes it a little easier. The aesthetics are fun. It has a playful style, making references to Bugs Bunny, Indiana Jones. Are fun. It has a playful style, making references to.
There were other colored Gex. I remembered that. That's not the only one. This area I remember with all the green and the trees. And there were other Gex besides just that pink one right there.
The Bugs Bunny, Indiana Jones, Gilligan, James Bond, and Godzilla. Yeah, gotta love the Gexzilla stage. There's even a room that's flooded by an overflowing toilet. Now, if I'm gonna call anything a shitty game...
That reminds me a little bit of, like, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Well, that just takes the turd. Oh, Gex, don't lick the toilet. Oh, no, that is one sick puppy. I mean, gecko. Oh, and on the Kung Fu stage, the music glitched, and it started sounding like Gex took a hard shit in the garbage disposal. Man, just listen to this.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's like a jackhammer to the ear.
It's a bit poorly optimized.
So I exited the level to try to fix it, and the game froze. Come on.
That's how it
on
would be.
N64 on a cartridge? There are some incredibly annoying parts, like these doors for instance. I don't know what you'd prefer to call this trope in gaming.
I don't think that I got to this level. I don't think I made it that far. I think I was stuck on the floating islands part and with the forest area that's like, it looked like a campsite. I was a little kid, man. If it got too hard, I was done.
But I'll dub it the Scooby-Doo doors. It's when you have to figure out which doors lead to which doors through trial and error. It sucks. I don't like it. Both Kung Fu Theater stages have their problems, but the second one, Samurai Night Fever, is
this
a
looks
real
crazy.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
There are so many moving platforms, so many tricky jumps, and all you do is fall, fall, fall. It sets you up for failure every step of the way. Even with the camera set to manual, the game just feeds you shitty anus angle after shitty anus angle. I'm in space where I can jump even higher, and the camera betrays me once again. How did I not make that jump?
That's cool that you can be in space.
When you can't move the camera, the game makes this annoying chirping sound. Almost like a cuckoo clock. It's just to let you know the camera stopped. I don't know. I mean, what the hell is that? Glover did the same thing, but at least it had the courtesy to mix the bird chirps with the occasional fart and burp. Was this actually a trend at the time?
Imagine if that happened in real life, if you turn your head too far and a fucking woodpecker showed up. Ah!
Then there's the N64 exclusive Titanic stage, where you have to use Gex's tail bounce to jump on shit. What is all this supposed to be anyway? Bunch of misplaced doorknobs and faucets? Getting to the top of this thing is like trying to climb a crap house wearing piss slippers. I will say the final boss is
That's
pretty
cool.
Rez is back, but this time he can grow bigger. Weird, creepy, and definitely something.
That might be one of the coolest bosses I've ever seen on the Nintendo 64 and really that era of games. Besides some of the Zelda bosses. Zelda bosses are really, really cool.
To remember. But after it's all done, there's no clever end scene, nothing like that, at least not on the N64 version.
Congratulations.
So, let's move on. Next up is Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko.
Don't
It's
think I
another
played this
3D
one.
game, and like the last one, it was on both N64 and PS1. And between the two consoles, aside from all the usual differences,
Yeah, the PS1 version looked way better.
they have their own opening cutscenes. At least N64 has one this time, but it's just a bunch of magazine covers and newspaper headlines flying at the screen while a random British voice tells you the plot.
It all came to an untimely end when Agent Extra was mysteriously kidnapped.
On PlayStation, Gex is now a full-on secret agent.
This looks like the Rampage cutscenes at the beginning. If anybody's ever played the Rampage games, incredible. Really good 10 out of 10 games. To me. I don't know if they actually are.
Or something, and has a conversation with a large-breasted FMV woman. Yeah, they put a real-life actress in the game.
That's
Similar
funny.
to Vincent Schiavelli in Corpse Killer. Except this time, it's Marlaise Andrada from Baywatch as Agent Extra, so I'm sure it drew a few more eyeballs.
Hey, speaking of secrets, you want to see my...
Gex.
What the fuck? Anyway, I'm gonna play N64 again because at this point I just played all of Gex 64, so it seems silly to adjust to a whole new controller layout. Typically speaking, you want things to be bigger in a sequel. An evolution, not just a regurgitation of the same shit you swallowed before. More things to do than you did in the last game, you know. And Gex 3 actually does that. There
Really?
are more stages to play, with more variety between them, more power-ups and costume changes, and even more collectibles to, collect. Speaking of collectibles, I haven't really gone into those yet, but essentially if you...
I don't see myself playing this one, but I'll definitely go back and play Gex 1 and 2 because I actually played those, and I just wanted to have the memories of all the things that I did.
Find 50 fly coins in a level, you earn an extra life. If you collect all 100, you get a remote. But if you die first, you're fucked. Unless you find a checkpoint mid-level, you need to re-find every single collectible every time you die.
Swinging for the fences, baby!
In Gex 2, when you die and come back, your total collectibles stay the same. So why'd they feel the need to change this? Is it such a bad thing for people to get more extra lives? And Gex 2 even had cooler collectibles, since we're getting real petty at this point. Why do we go from a system with collectibles that changed form and matched each stage's theme to generic golden fly coins like the first game? We went
Laziness.
backwards. It discourages wanting to pick the things up altogether, but they are your main source of extra lives, and those fucking remotes are hard to come by. So even if you try to tell yourself that you're not going to pick them up,
That's
eventually
cool.
you'll find yourself slipping into So even if you try to tell yourself that you're
I've never seen anything like this in a video game in this era, where the walls are just coming at you, eating you like hungry hippos.
not going to pick them up, eventually you'll find yourself slipping into bouts of madness, hunting for all 100 fucking fly coins. And then you die after finding 99 of them and start considering giving yourself a lobotomy before attempting that shit again. But you do. Like I said, the stages feature a lot more variety this time. The levels are still broken
I think whoever made this game did a lot of LSD, because there's a lot of the LSD aesthetic in this.
up by different themes or TV shows, but none of the themes repeat like they did in Gex 2. Gex has a different outfit for almost every stage too.
That's
Sherlock
cool.
Holmes, a gladiator, an Egyptian pharaoh, a mobster, Little Red Riding Hood, and Gex, to name a few. He's got more wardrobe changes
Gexula.
than Mel Brooks in one of his films. One stage is Christmas themed and has you battling snowboarding elves and Santa Claus to the death.
You're on the list.
Another stage lets you drive a tank and blow up a city, while
That's
another
cool.
takes you all over a
That
pirate
kind of reminded me of the Spyro game where you can drive the tank. It wasn't very good.
ship. There's even a stage where they do the good, the bad, and the ugly whistle, and Gex dresses as the man with no name. How fucking badass is that? You feel lucky?
I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna play the trilogy.
Wait, does that say what I think it says? Is that a Donner Party reference? You know, the Donner Party who resorted to cannibalism to survive? And I thought this sign was a little much for a Nintendo game.
Wow. I actually can't believe that is in this game. In a Nintendo game. I don't think the Japanese knew what this meant.
That's pretty crazy. And wait, what's that sign coming into view? Visit
Poop Town.
Poop Town, USA? Poop Town? You're shitting me, right?
That's the kind of jokes that I make with my brother's 8-year-old son. I said brothers. I guess he's technically my brother at this point. Not technically. He is my brother at this point. Not, it's my best friend is what I meant to say. But we make poop jokes all the time. Like, you're a poop butt. We're going to Poop Town. You're eating poop. I pooped my pants.
Oh my God, I think I see it on the horizon. Holy mother of God, that is one big pile of shit.
And it's covered in nuts. That's gross. I'm riding an ass on a turd. Oh, Gex, don't lick the turd. Yeah, those peanuts are not sanitary. Much like the last game, all the stages are connected.
What's with Nintendo games and being obsessed with shit? Because in Conkers, you fight a giant shit monster.
By a hub world, this time apparently Gex's secret island cave, where you can run around and decide which order to play the stages in. Yeah, I mentioned Mario 64 a lot, and not only did it revolutionize the 3D platformer as a whole, but it also solidified that if you're gonna make one of these things, then everything needs to be connected in a hub. Yeah. Whatever happened to a simple map? You know, like Gex 1. No, that would be too easy. So you have to run all over the fucking place, searching high and low for minutes at a time just to play the next stage so that you can collect enough remotes to challenge the bosses.
It's tail time!
You can tell wrestling was still really hot in '99, just in case anyone forgot, because the first boss fight is a wrestling match against Rock Hard. The boss music even sounds like a crappy wrestler's theme song.
It's Rock Hard and he looks like The Rock. With a bowl cut.
Yeah.
The music's really good in this game.
Oh, that's messed up. Now it's fucking personal.
Hit me, go on, hit me!
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? He turned me into a basketball?
That's funny.
Oh, the fucking disrespect.
Beating the bosses nets you the key to the next section of the hub world and your next slew of levels to find. Besides Rez, the final boss, the only other major boss in the game besides Rock Hard is the Lizard of Oz.
Lions and
That's
tigers
cool.
and gecko shit, oh my!
The bosses in these games are really good. I gotta give it to them. At least they were trying some interesting stuff.
I wonder if Gex likes to wipe his ass with his tail. Anyway, he's dressed as the Tin Man for this battle. I hope he didn't use aluminum paint for the costume. Just avoid the annoying TV enemies and shoot him in the giant dumb face with the cannons that appear, and you're one key closer to the final battle. Gex 3 is actually not that bad. Sure, it's got some problems, but overall, I had a lot more fun than I was on.
Yeah, this one looks better than the first two. I think I'm gonna enjoy it if I play the trilogy for this, which I'm probably gonna do just to get those memories. But when I get to this game, it's gonna feel like a relief from the other two, because I know that they're gonna be very difficult and I'm gonna be very frustrated. And I might even quit them.
Honestly expecting. I mean, yeah, I got lost pretty often and I wasted more time than I'd like to admit, wondering where the fuck the last collectible is on this damn beanstalk. Oh, there it is. Pretty much if you liked Gex 2, you're probably gonna like Gex 3. They even fixed the camera, mostly. I mean, I just don't think I can bring myself to hate a game that brought us Poop Town, USA. After beating the final boss on N64, the game ends on another wet diarrhea fart to the face. We cut to Gex's rad, bow-tied fucking turtle butler Alfred relaxing on the beach. Yeah, British butler.
I remember this. I think I've seen this in like some video game videos that I've seen on YouTube that just use this as a meme. But I have 100% seen this, and I 100% have not beat Gex 3 to see this.
Named Alfred. So original. Remember that random British voice I mentioned in the beginning of the game? Yep, that was Alfred. Alfred.
He thinks that he rescued Extra all by himself.
He tries saying Gex couldn't have done it without his help, like his tooltips in-game were really all that helpful.
Entering the training area should allow you to brush up on your skills.
No fucking kidding. Yeah, and he drops some sequel bait.
Mr. Gex and I will return soon. Ta-ta for now.
But this would end up being the last Gex game,
That's
so
sad.
I guess it was just wishful.
We need a new one. We need a new Gex. We need Gex 4. When are we gonna get it? When are you gonna make it happen? Who made these games? Crystal Dynamics?
Thinking. Like the ending of the Super Mario Brothers movie. The 93 version. And that's basically it. Like I said, hot, wet fart to the face.
Unpopular opinion, I really like the Mario movie. It's garbage, but I really, really like it. I watched it when I was a kid. Did not know that it was a Mario movie. I thought it was just a sci-fi movie.
Not that great.
So, that was the Gex Trilogy. And to be honest, it wasn't as bad as the shit I usually play. It was kind of middle of the road, which is where the horse shit usually lands. Yeah, it's a horse and buggy kind of road. But anyway.
Right there in the middle of Poop Town.
The thing that really bummed me out was the ending. It was so lackluster. I wonder if the PS1 ending is any better. Well, that's what YouTube is for, so let's check it out.
And then, after he showed me his entire collection of Star Trek bloopers, he asked me to marry him.
That's my dad. Good thing I got you out of there when I did. As I was saying, Extra, my love.
Yeah, they couldn't put this on N64.
Come here, you silly gecko. Oh, Gex.
You know what? I was fine with the first ending. Fuck you, you gecko motherfucker! Ugh!
That was kind of a lackluster ending for an AVGN video. I liked it. I liked this video a lot. It's just, you know, kind of not like his old videos, which I'm fine with. I wish he'd come out with an old style practical effects kind of AVGN video, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's too much work for the current algorithms of YouTube, but maybe he could do it for himself and for us, the OG fans. I'm probably going to play Gex Trilogy. I hope that I can get through it. I might not get through the first one. I might play it just to see the interesting aesthetics and then move on to Gex 2 and 3 to beat. I bet I could get through Gex 2 and 3. The only thing I think that is going to get on my nerves is the camera. AVGN, I love you. Viewer, I love you. I love me. I love YouTube. I love the internet. I love video games. I'm out of here, man. I'm going to go play Gex. Probably not.